Today I decided for my new video I'm going to do a Draw My Life. So I grew up in Illinois, in a very small town called Morrisonville. It's the place that I remember growing up, so yeah, I was just a little tot. And we had a decent sized house because I have a lot of siblings, which I'll explain in a couple minutes. So I used to think that my parents were absolutely loaded. Like, I was like, bro, we are so rich. Which we were not. And so I have a lot of siblings. As you can see here, I'm drawing all of them. This part took a very, very long time. So in total, I have about 13 siblings, not including myself. And only 2 of them are younger than me. So starting out over there was Jacob, then Rachel, Nathan, Joe. Then over here's Becca. She was very hyper whenever we lived inside of our old house. So I drew her like that. This is Anna. She really badly wanted to be like Becca. Then there was Sarah. She was kind of an emo kid. And then me, an absolute hottie. Not at the time, but Benjamin would cry a lot. And then there was the baby, Alex. Now that's my mom. And there's my dad. I drew him quite a lot smaller, but so he, before they got married, already had 3 kids. So we have, Jason, Jenny, and Kaylee. Kaylee is personally my favorite of the bunch, but we're not going to talk about that. And then on my mom's side, she had 1 kid. His name is Brendan, and he has a husband. His name is Jeff. So, yeah, there's that, right? Now, this is Jacob. His favorite things are back then was his computer, his bed, his mom, and that's about it. Now, at the time, he wasn't in the Marines, but in the future, he was going to be, and he is currently. And back then, his favorite hobby was gaming, or watching YouTube. Next up, we have Rachel. She was sad a lot of the time, and she absolutely hated high school. So, you know. Then we have Nathan and Joe. Them 2 are pretty close in age, so I decided to put them together. Now, Nathan is the rage-quitting master. He's very good at it, and he really likes gaming. And at the time, he was unemployed. Right now, he's actually quite rich. Then we have Joe. He always acted like he had depression, like all the time. So, he might, I don't know. And he was, you know, the guy in the cowboy boots with the cowboys on. Now, I decided to put my 3 sisters into this one because they were like the trio. So we got Becca. She's very hyper. Then there was Anna. She was trying to be Becca. I was trying to figure out a place to put this. And she was a rage quitter in the making. Sorry for any background noise. Then there was me. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I lived outside back then, and I was bullied a lot by everybody. So, you know, anyways. Then we have Ben. He cried a lot, and still does. Well, you know. He was also a very big rage quitter, and is right now. He has very big anger issues, which we're working on that. And then we have the favorite child, the baby, which she's not a baby really much anymore. Her name is Alex. And so when we moved from Illinois to Florida out of nowhere, it was as hot as heck. Alex, shut up. Sorry. And we stayed in Florida for about 6 months with my grandmother there. And my dad decided, you know what? I'm going to stay on a bus. He wants to be the guy in that picture. So then there was a bunch of buses, and my dad decided to pick the one that needed quite a lot of renovation. Why? Well, because. So it had all the necessities. Well, at first it didn't. It didn't have a bathroom, but it did have kitchen, a bed, and, well, beds and a TV. After 6 months of waiting for the renovation to be done, Dad finally became the semi-driver he wanted to be, except for the fact that it wasn't inside of a semi. And you know that video where my brother sliced his ear off? Yeah, that was whenever it was my dad's first time driving it. He learned to drive the bus to be able to do this. So, and these are all the places that we've traveled in it so far. Pennsylvania, Washington, New York, my personal favorite, North Carolina, Indiana, and very special, Hawaii, but obviously not on the bus because we had to go across the sea. And I'm not going to tell you where we are right now because, well, and all of that led to depression because I have to leave my friends.